Heyo! I'm not sure if they're still testing the fire alarms right now. There's no timestamp. That's a disclaimer. But I'm gonna keep going through it because I am reading this book and it's emotionally healthy spirituality, and it's basically talking about how you can't be spiritually mature if you're not emotionally mature. And the chapter that I'm in right now literally is titled Going Back in Order to Go Forward. Acknowledging the impact that your past inevitably has on you, regardless of whether you're in control or not of the situation. It manifests into who you are and your present. And I already made a whole 30-minute video on this, but I had 10 pages left to read, and it has been hitting me, but this one paragraph, wow, it just reminds me of, your past and past generational trauma can leak and will leak into your current life. And you can acknowledge that, and you should acknowledge your past, not just burying it away, but you don't have to give it power. And just because, like, for example, if alcoholism runs in your family, that doesn't make your future set in stone that you're gonna be an alcoholic. No, your future doesn't have to be the same. And the past stuff, the stuff that you lost in, say, like your childhood, say, I don't know, there's a lot, like, maybe because of certain traumas in your childhood, you have, like, intimacy issues, or you don't know how to go about conflict healthily, stuff like that. Let me read this. The truth is that I did lose a leg in my childhood. I cannot get that back yet, because by God's grace I have gone back. I can walk. I may walk with a limp, but I am no longer crippled. I am free. But when I look back now and think about how I lived the first 17 years of my Christian life, I am stunned, shocked, embarrassed. There is so much needless pain, and that's just talking about how you could experience something so excruciating and have trauma that affects you so heavily. But that doesn't mean it's the end for you. That doesn't mean that you're forever damaged goods. You can go back as the person you are right now and help that past version of you. You can get down on your knees and get your hands dirty with love. And it's not easy. And you can help them out, you can support them, you can give them what they needed. It's just so beautiful. I've gone back, so you acknowledge your past, you go back and you see them, you see you. So for me, like, I don't know, I can see my 9-year-old self. I see you. I see you. I see you. And then now, you're not. You can walk again. And the whole, like, you can walk again, but you're not walking perfectly. You're limping. Because of course that's still gonna have an effect, but you're still there, you're still walking. The limp is beautiful because it also is like, it's to show your progress, to show your growth, to show that you're healing. It's a scar. Scars, I like to see scars as stars. And there's this whole spoken word that I wanted to write, which I might do in the future, to connect stars and scars. And basically, my whole idea of it is that the scars on your body, even the scars that you can't see because they are internal, mentally, emotionally, all of those, when compiled, it's in the exact placements that they are, in the exact timeline, they make up you. They make up, like, you're the constellation. You are the galaxy of your life. And all those scars were placed in a certain way at a certain time for a reason. I'm not saying people deserve to go through what they go through. And pain is a very difficult thing to talk about. But don't be ashamed anymore of your past, of your scars, because they make you. It's like a fingerprint. It's literally like the fingerprint of your life, because even though you experience the same thing as someone else, like the same event, so say I'm in the car and I get in a car crash with someone, even though we're in the exact same car in this exact same accident, we're going to experience it and process it and internalize it differently. And in a crazy, almost morbid way, it's beautiful. And I'm just really sentimental about it. I haven't even finished. I have eight more pages. So the present is a window into the past. I feel like I had to hop on and share, and I might just post this instead of the 30-minute video that I posted, which was, I might just condense in this last part of the video, because this, I want to be as raw as possible, and the other one was raw, but like that paragraph, it hit me, and I miss reading. I'm so happy that I started again. Okay, let's take a deep breath, right? I am crying, but I am so happy because God has been speaking to me all day about this subject, and it is about generational curses, and it's really taboo, honestly, to talk about. But I am so fired up about it, and I don't know if you've heard of the red, yellow, green light system, but green light is, hey, I am a-okay talking about this. I've talked about it before. Even feel comfortable asking me questions. I'm completely comfortable. Yellow is, I'm kind of comfortable. I might have talked about it maybe once or twice, but honestly, it's still pretty hard for me to talk about. So just be mindful of that, okay? And then red light is, I am completely uncomfortable talking about this. It's very difficult for me to even think about it, to talk about it. I may have never even talked about it with someone else before. So please, please, please take everything with caution. And that system is just a way to communicate with someone else about where I'm at in a certain subject, so they know how to go about it without like feeling awkward about how to respond or like what to do. Anyway, what I'm about to talk about is kind of like yellowish red. It might not seem like it right now, but it was really apparent in my 30-minute video, which I'm gonna try actually not to make this 30 minutes. So excuse me if I'm talking really fast. But I'm not even gonna probably say everything that I said in the last video. I might put what I said in the last video in the description. All in all, I feel it in my soul that one of my biggest purposes is to break generational curses, because generational trauma can leak into future present generations without us even knowing, until we dig deeper and we're like, wow, look how far back that gets rooted. And I will fight until the day I die to make sure that I'm trying my hardest to give an environment and to create an environment that is healthy and full of love and validation and inclusivity. It's not even just about, at first it started with just me wanting to become the best me I can. I was tired of having all these internal conflicts and not knowing why or how to deal with them. So I do research, I read about it a lot, I watch videos, I love doing that. This is also a series that contributes to me just wanting to learn more about myself so that I can fully embrace who I am, love her, love you, and apply that to my relationships as well. For someone who really struggles with talking about emotions and stuff, I'm so happy that I have this to talk about, to talk to my future self. All in all, I said some good stuff in my last video, and I can't think about it. I just really wanted to share that moment with you. But when you're on a path that no one else has walked before, you're turning and dancing in directions and movements are flowing in a way that has not been done before in generations, you're gonna get looked at funny. People are gonna look at you differently, even ones that you thought wouldn't ever give you a certain look, and they might give you that look. They might see you differently, look at you differently, talk about you differently. But I don't want that to discourage you. You are doing amazing, and I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. And I'm at that point, and I said this honestly even in my very first YouTube video, that I know that I'm not alone, but I am prepared to walk this path alone. I am not only that passionate about it, but I trust so much in what God has for me that I don't need external validation. It's a work in progress, but for the most part, for the core things in my life, even if it means losing relationships that I value a lot. But if it's for the sake of growth and healing, for a better, not just a better me, but for bettering generations, it's gonna happen. And it's already happened with loved ones. Ow. I'm not just talking about family, or I'm not just talking about friends. I'm talking about everyone that I have ever encountered and cared for. Relationships come and go, and that's still a very hard thing for me to grasp, which we'll get into relationships later. But another thing I'll say is that if people start becoming rash with you and start blowing up and becoming super inflamed and furious, when you start setting and enforcing boundaries, when you start taking the healthier path and healthier ways of going about things, then they were likely 99.9% of the time the people that were benefiting from you not doing those things, not caring about yourself, basically. It's such an underlying thing that I have witnessed and experienced when growing up. People might not explicitly say it, but they implicitly imply that you shouldn't care about yourself, which is far from the truth. Okay? So you keep doing you. I'm not saying to go and be malicious to everyone and be like, forget everyone, it's all about me. That's not what I'm talking about. So if that's what you got from this, then maybe just wait for future videos of when I actually address it. But big things are coming, and I'm super excited. This did not stay in the single digits, but I mean, at least it's not 30 minutes. Okay, have an amazing, beautiful night, day, wherever you're at. I love you.